Okay, time to show the kissing samples of strike. And the first thing I do is I take the 200-gram weight from the leveling sampling kit, and I put it on string number 3, which is going to be my lowest strike sample. Now the strike samples, they're like the old-fashioned let-off samples. They want to be as far out at the ends of the section as possible. They're the most accurate that way. But they cannot use the bedding samples, because the bedding samples have key steps under them. So I take the next natural. The sharps are too fussy to work with, and it doesn't matter. And actually the naturals are a little more sensitive too. The problem with let-off samples, one of the problems, is that they're approximate, and they're viewed from an angle when they're in the piano. And if you take it 3 times, you may get 3 slightly different answers. So with the regulating rack, once we're set up, it's exactly the same place each time we come to do let off and drop, or anything that relates to strike. So blow distance, for instance, or hammer line, relates to strike. It doesn't relate to let off. Well, I mean, there is a relationship that produces aftertouch in conjunction with key dip and so forth. But the 2 main indices are the key bed and strike. And strike is a 3-dimensional spot. Right? There's an upward component, a side-to-side component, and an in and out component. If you just depress the key and go up and adjust the let off to when it just touches the string, it's really hard to know exactly where that is, because you have sort of the impact of hammer to string. You have friction between the tip of the jack and the knuckle, and you have other soft places in the system, you know, the punching, the balance punching, for instance. This weight that is particular and is situated at an exact point that is replicable, if you have a hesitation, then that sort of fine-tunes your perception of the thing. Of course, you have to agree with the hesitation to be a little faster or a little slower, but we're talking 10,000ths of an inch in the process of what that means for the height. And okay, so we're going to go to the next one. There is some verdigris in this system. This is a little less than ideal, but in the end, those parts are going to be replaced. Okay, now that just let itself down, but I've got to back up a little bit and fine tune it. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, let's see what that's like just on its own. The less worn the knuckle, the newer the knuckle, the more fine tuning for this spot there is. And you can see that I'm having a hard time getting it to hesitate and not just drop off the cliff. That's fine. Okay, there's a little bit of hesitation. I might go back and reduce the amount that that one has. The next. Okay, that's pretty good. These both have just a little sense of hesitation. If we had the original strings and hammers, and in that situation, we have the original hammers and they're quite worn. With the original strings as the, soundboard and pin block work, the grooves of those hammers went right to the strings. And we would have to move the action slightly over so that the grooves are in between the strings, i.e., if you call the grooves valleys, the hills of no groove would be what you touch the strings with. And then you set up the flat-sided template to those hills. So you don't get a discrepancy between where the strings strike in valleys and where the templates can only strike at the hills. So you have hills to hills. But I have filed the sample hammers. I pre-filed them so that we don't have this anomaly. And please like, subscribe, or follow the link in the notes to my website.